Hi everyone.
Hey, nice to see everyone again.
Yes, this is our third session with
Yeah.
Evening Chants.
Pretty fast actually.
Yeah.
But today we feel like professionals. I guess we are more prepared. I
Yeah.
guess we learn as we go.
Yeah. What's in store for today?
Maybe we talk about what we just listened to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You chose this song.
Yeah, so I chose that song. I think every session we always talk about him. It's Oneohtrix Point Never. He's very in demand now, right?
Yeah, he's like playing Jimmy Fallon tomorrow
night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his album just came out, so what you just heard is Otto and Elo. Have you listened to the new album yet?
Yeah, I did. I listened Friday when it came out.
Yeah.
I think I listened to it twice.
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay,
I think you like it more than me, right?
I think I think so. I've listened to it, I think maybe like 3 times already. It's very good. The more you listen to it, the more
I'm sure.
the more things you hear. So yeah, I don't know. I think the production very crazy.
I mean, that's what he's good at.
Yeah, it is. But then I know a lot of people hate it because, you know.
I don't know about hate. I think it's more of like disappointment in a sense that like people always like with OPN. I think a lot of people expect a lot from him because he's kind of pushed the boundaries of like experimental like electronic music for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like he's not pushing anything in this album. I think he's still trying a few things, like for sure.
Yeah.
But I think from what I've seen, it's mixed reviews. So like people like Pitchfork and everything giving them like high reviews, right?
Yeah.
But then like publications like Tone Glow and everything, you know, it's where they're more serious about their stuff. I think they gave very serious critique on it, like giving them like a 4 or 6. Some of it is quite harsh.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking about it with like Daniel the other day, and it's like, but I can relate because I think a lot of them come from. I think you should send it to
from
you.
a place where you
you
grew
love.
with him, you know.
Exactly.
And then every time you listen to his new song, you expect something. I think that was like first kind of like expectations also, but I grew fond of it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this album will grow on me also.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens with all his albums, except the last two. The last two never really grew me, like Garden of the Lead and Age of.
You don't like Garden of the Lead?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, okay,
I do lah. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah, it was different. It just wasn't the different that I wanted and I expected from him. Yeah, but good job to him lah. Yeah. Garden of the Lead was the one with Alex G, right? Or was it Age of?
No, Age of.
Right? Okay.
Is Alex G.
You want to talk about the artwork like for this album?
For this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done by Robert BT. Yeah. This guy is the same guy who did Tame Impala. I think it's pretty obvious lah, Through the Lines, and he also did Keisha, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, very. I think when I was younger, I liked him a lot. I'm not fond of the artwork for OPN for this one. But the inside stuff is pretty nice.
Yeah, I saw the inside stuff too. It's what I wanted the album art to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also not so fond of the album art as well. And like, until you told me about this Robert BT guy, I never knew that like about him. And when I saw his whenever I Googled him, I was like, wow, actually he did a lot of prolific stuff lah. Yeah, so good for him. But go for Oneohtrix.
His specialty is like the shiny metal kind of aesthetic. Yeah. Yeah, but then I think he also creative directed a lot of the whole thing. So like in the new music video, it's for I think Long Road Home, the one with Caroline Polachek. It's quite nice. So what they're doing is like 2 monsters, like demons. One is a devil, one is like a pig with wings. Yeah, they're dancing in the in the R+7 like cover.
Oh
they're
shit!
dancing inside.
I don't think I need to watch it now.
Yeah, you need to watch it. Yeah,
Okay.
and then the two like monsters are actually from the Garden of the Lead. That's what they say. So it's like a combination of everything and what he's grown.
Right. Shit. Okay, I need to watch it now.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. Okay.
So like I think I read one of the Tone Glow reviews that apparently that this is one of his last albums as Oneohtrix Point Never.
So he's just gone full time to Daniel Lopez.
Yeah, I think so. Or like he's going to do something else lah.
Okay.
But interesting, I guess. Like maybe I think it's the right time to kind of drop the moniker. Like he pushed enough, or like he pushed as far as he could with this whatever that he's created, his palette.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it for Oneohtrix.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean like it was also executive produced by The Weeknd.
Yes.
Weird, but makes sense, I guess. But yeah, so I guess maybe we can share them what we have for this episode of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this time we kind of want to go back to just sharing some music. Yeah. And with the label feature that we're going to do, we're going to cover this label from Atlanta called Geographic North, but we'll talk more about them later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for now, maybe you want to talk about the track that you're going to play next.
Yeah, so I'm going to play Mort Garson, but not Mort Garson. I'm going to play his Monica. So I think a lot of people, he does not need no like introduction. He's the guy who did Plantasia. But that's what everyone knows, you know. But so recently, I think on the 6th November, they will release all his unreleased materials. Yeah. Sacred Bones is doing it. Yeah. And this one is more, I think it's a very dark side of him compared to Plantasia. Plantasia is very light, very happy. Yeah. So this one, his Monica is called Lucifer.
Right.
And he also did another one called Atyrexia. Yeah, got it. And they're gonna release it soon. It's all like about like the satanic mass, all the witches.
Right. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's totally like opposite.
Yeah. And I think when Sacred Bones, because Sacred Bones are like known for the darker stuff, right?
Correct.
So when they were announcing the Plantasia reissue, I was like, what the fuck, right? But now this makes sense. Maybe I was building up to this the entire time.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna play. What's the song that we're gonna play?
We're gonna play The Philosopher's Stone under his Lucifer, the Black Mass album.
All right, enjoy. So what you just heard was a blend that was not planned, but we found out that it works. So you heard two songs playing at once.
What was playing?
Sorry. The song, the first song that came on was Dolore di Orsini by Anna von Hausswolff, who recently put out on Southern Notes in this year, and I think it's definitely probably going to be one of the top 10 albums on my list. Yeah, it's just an amazing organ. I'm such a sucker for organ music right now, right? But this one is I guess you can call it a bit of a pop organ record. A bit different from Kelly Malone, although it's arguable that some people call Kelly Malone's organ records pop, but then to me it's not pop. But this one really feels a bit more pop because it's super melodic and everything, but it's gorgeous. So it's a bit dark. It's whatever that I want in an organ album. And I wish that she continues to put out music like this, because when I never really visited her old music until just now when I was doing a bit more research and everything, right? That's why I visited her old music, and there's a lot of vocals and folk stuff. And I think the latest 2018 she put out this album is a bit darker music, and probably not really up my alley, but this one is a bit different because she doesn't really sing on the album, I think, and it's just a lot more drone and ambient-y, which is how I like it lah. So so basically, Anna von Hausswolff is a Swedish pipe organist. if you can't tell already, and apparently her father is an avant-garde sound artist. Which I should actually really go and check out her father's music and see what's up. And the other song that was supposed to be played after, but ended up getting the one with the vocals inside. That's an album that I found out from a Tone Glow article on the best music so far of this year. I think they posted it in July or something this year. And what stood out to me, because the copy was it's something like Grouper. And I was like, okay, I want anything that sounds a bit like Grouper, right? But not Grouper. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, and I wasn't really a fan of the album art because it looks like, Sales.
Yeah, I saw that album art.
Yeah, what is...
I went to listen to actually what Nido's picks are.
Right.
And then I saw the album art.
What do you think of the album art?
It's a bit, man.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's just very...
dated, right?
Very dated. It's just when experimental music just came out and abstract. Yeah,
exactly. Cool. It kind of felt like a Sale. Sales, right? The band, the duo Sales, the indie duo. Yeah. It kind of felt like that kind of like Tumblr-y. I was just like, what? It's a bit weird, but the album came out this year on this label, which I'm not really familiar with, Greetings, Whatever's Clever. So this band has got this duo, I think it's a duo. I hope I'm right. They're called Glass Salt. And the track that was being blended in the Anna von Hausswolff song is called What Will You Say, but I really recommend you checking it out on its own. Check out the whole album. Yeah, and so I think the best thing that I would say and to describe their sound is if Blithfield, Blithfield, right? Yes. The one that you played, and then mixed with grouper-ish vocals. So that sounds like a pretty nice blend, and it really is what it is lah. And I think that's how I describe it. So maybe we can talk about our label feature for this episode, Geographic North.
What is Geographic North, Nido?
So I think Geographic North. So I've been following them at least for me, I've been following them for quite a bit. And obviously what stood out to me, and I'm sure it stood out to you as well, is the design. Yeah. It's so freaking good.
When we started Evening Chants, there's a lot of looking at them as inspiration.
Yeah.
And it was in our Pinterest board all the time.
Yeah.
And then I think we considered doing something like them, but we like artwork. We wanted nothing too concrete for artists lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess
it typography.
It would be a bit hard to kind of follow through, and kind of also convince the artist that you need to stick to our brand, our design kind of a thing. And I guess it kind of gets tired after a while, but for some reason Geographic North still
does it well. Yeah, every time, as in every time you see it, you do feel excited, but that's what the brand is supposed to do.
They are so good at doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more about this label. I actually never really bothered researching about them before this. Before this whole podcast, until I researched on them and then found out. So they're from Atlanta, and they were actually formed in 2007. And I remember they're not really, okay, they do a lot of ambient stuff, but when they first started out, they had like Sunny Day Real Estate and shit.
Yeah.
But no, not Sunny Day Real Estate, Sunny Day in Glasgow. Yeah, and like a bit of indie music. There's a bit of post-punk stuff inside. And now...
There's a lot of techno, like electronic stuff.
Like synthy stuff that you like and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think they kind of ventured into like that, and then now most of their releases, I would say, cross the lines of ambient and drone music, which is great lah. I mean, actually all their releases are great lah. But I can't really pinpoint like a specific sound
that they do. Is it?
Yeah, I guess a lot of it is very warm. I don't know if there's a good way to put it. Yeah. So I think this. Are we going to talk about it? So, yeah. So I think we'll talk about the compilation that they put out a bit later.
Yeah.
But maybe you want to introduce the songs that you picked.
Yeah. So I think today we picked about 5 songs from Geographic North. It's good for me because I'm not very. I didn't really research about them as well. Yeah, and through this time I found quite a lot of artists that I like. Yeah. So the first one I found, it's my first time hearing him. His name is Nick Malkin. The song I'll play is called Morning at Cafe Molly.
Cafe Molly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing much about him. So actually what we do here before the podcast, actually we do a lot of homework and research on the artist to kind of give facts, which is quite nice. But there's nothing that I can find about him at all. I just found his Twitter. There's no Wikipedia page. There's no Facebook. But then, so this guy is from Los Angeles. And he recently got tested positive for COVID. Okay. He's quite funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah,
he's
a funny guy on Twitter. He has a photo that's like recording sounds. There's a dustbin.
Right.
Yeah, kind of
accurate.
guy.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's just play the song.
Yeah, let's play the song. So what you just heard was Walking Paths by this guy called M Sage. So the M stands for Matthew. Yeah, so like Matthew Sage. But this was actually from the latest. I think they don't brand it as like a Halloween thing, but they did put it on October, and they said it's like haunted music. That's what they call it. This compilation from Geographic North of like 30 over artists. And it's called A Little Night Music, Oral Apparitions from the Geographic North.
Yeah.
I hate them, yeah. Why are they so good? Like, why are they so good at like designing and like copywriting and like so like the list of the compilation is just full of amazing people, including Mayte.
Yes, Mayte.
So we're very happy for him that he got included with it. And actually, fun fact, we found out last week that Yang Lin's label Year 0001 added his track to the playlist. So it's like yes, and then like when I went to tell Matey, I was like, hey dude, like Yang Lin's label added your music in the playlist. And he was like, who's that? and then I went and sent him the link, and he was like, oh, he really liked it. And then we started going on this conversation about like hip hop music or something, right? And he was like, oh, do you like Drake?
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I do actually.
That's a fun fact. Me and Nigel are top artists when we put our comparison on Spotify. It's actually Drake.
Yeah, so guilty pleasures, man. Okay, I'm not embarrassed, but like
I'm not as well.
but yeah. Okay, so apart from it, you wanna share the other artists on the compilation?
Okay, so back to it. I said that I found a lot of artists because I never really went through like Geographic North discography before. Quite a lot of things I put there on the list that I had difficulty picking the songs for today actually from Geographic North because I found a lot of very good stuff. So do check them out. There are some examples. You have like Jump Ras. I like the Raphael Anton Ilisari.
Yeah, iconic guy.
So good.
Yeah. I think he actually mastered Kinyon's label. I mean Kinyon's record.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was him.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
God.
I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him. I think I talked to Kin about it. Like Kin was telling me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, shut up.
I think it's right. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I think I'm right. Yeah.
Okay.
If not, it's some other like important guy in ambient. Yeah. Other people like Finesse as well, like iconic.
Super good. Lotus Plaza is good as well.
Which was such a weird. Actually, Lotus Plaza was a weird addition to me. I was like, because Lotus Plaza is like shoegaze, right?
Yeah. But they do have quite a lot of like shoegaze things inside the label as well.
A bit, yeah.
Like dream pop.
Yeah, correct. Like the early days, like Sunny Day in Glasgow. No, Sunny Day. Yeah, Sunny Day in Glasgow. Yeah, Sunny Day in Glasgow.
And there's the non-ambient stuff that you can. I just found out it's like Cafe Ali, and Night Cleaner. The Flag, Euroconic.
It's a good label, and it's an amazing compilation. So please check it out, like for real. And the tape is sold out. I should have bought it, and
you didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it. I don't know why, but I don't think they will ever repress it. I don't know. They don't repress their stuff, I think. But yeah, please go and like check that. It's out on Spotify, so go and listen to it. Like it's 30 songs, but it feels like 30 minutes. It's longer than that, but it's great. Yeah, all original songs.
Very good, very good.
Yeah. So I guess moving on from like continuing with talking about Geographic North and everything, we kind of pick a bit more songs to follow up. Do you wanna share about the next song?
So the next song I picked was Strategy. I think the song is called Be Careful with That AX60 Eugene. Could be just a casual conversation that his friend anyhow touched, you know. I found out what an AX60
what's
is
that?
today. It's the Akai AX60.
Like the synth.
It's a polyphonic analog.
Okay,
keyboard,
whatever I don't know what it is, but
made in the 1980s.
Oh, keyboard. Okay.
Yeah. So Strategy, not much about him also. His name is Paul Dicko. Yeah.
Right.
Founder of Community Library label, and he's based in Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the next one I'm playing also the guy's based in Oregon, so yeah. But let's check out what you pick.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you just heard is Jasmine's Pick.
It's Mortem by Alvin Lull. They're actually a dream pop band formed in 1994. And then they were from Dala, and then they moved over. And then now I think they moved over to somewhere else. I don't know where.
Right. So they're still making music.
Yeah, they're still making music. Yeah.
Also dream pop music, or like, are they just ambient at this point?
It's not ambient at this point, but I think it still sticks to like the shoegaze foundations, but then a bit more experimental. Yeah.
1994, damn.
Yeah.
Found them from Dala, right. So this album was released in 2014.
2014. Correct, under Geographic North.
And
then before that...
I picked Ilyas Ahmed.
Yeah.
So I think he put out this album last year and it was in my top albums list. Like, I don't know, it wasn't top 10, but like it was like top 20 or something, but it was definitely in my top list. It was also on Geographic North. And I never knew much about him. I didn't bother researching before this, but when I researched about him today, I found out that he's like Pakistan born. He's based in Oregon. And I saw his picture. He's quite old. He got white hair all.
Oh really?
So I think he's probably an old guy. He's a visual artist as well. Apparently quite prolific. So this album has a lot of like nice like cello strings and string instruments, drone stuff. It's a really good album. It's only 4 songs, like a tape. An EP, and I recommend listening. It's really good to do work to. It's really good background music just to vibe to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice drone music. Check it out. Yeah, I think I mean, if anything, I think all our picks is a good testament to like Geographic North's discography and like repertoire. So they're a great label. Good job, guys. Keep it up if you are listening. Yeah, please don't stop doing what y'all do.
Super good. What's next in line?
I think we still have a few more songs to kind of play and everything, but maybe because it's November, the year's gonna end already, which is crazy.
Yeah. How has it been for you?
Yeah, how has it been for you? Like, how you go first?
For me, I don't know. COVID was a standstill, I think, for a lot of people, like all around the world. It's still going on. Yeah. Still crazy. Here in Singapore, it's doing better lah. So much better actually. Yeah. Life is starting to go back to normal-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Workflow wise, it's still a bit hard. I'm a designer outside. Yeah. Yeah. Outside of this, nobody really wants to do design at the moment. Like, it's not a top priority. But
you mean like clients wise?
Yeah, clients, because there are other things to worry about for now.
That's true.
Yes, and then but it's still going on, so I'm thankful for that. Also, I had this like more time for myself to grow a bit more. Like internalize a lot of things and work out a lot of things. Yep. Listen to more music. That's good, and spend more time doing design and art and more things that like I want to do lah. Like.
Yeah, I think 2020 was weird, man.
2020 is a bit strange.
Like, I can't believe whatever happened, like with COVID and everything happened, and it's still happening now. Yeah. It's just such a weird thing. Like, when you look back, it's like, what? Like, recently I was visiting, because I use TikTok, right? So like now they're like some of the TikToks are like looking back at, so TikTok, like how TikTok works, right? The music and everything is very fundamental, right? The audio that they use. Yeah. So the trends come from the audios, right? Yeah. So like one day they use like a Doja Cat song, the other one they will use like freaking like Ellie and AJ and shit, right? So in the COVID period, at least for the quarantine period in May and June, then they have all those songs like Doja Cat and the Renegade and everything, right? Then now they're looking back at that point of time, like as if it's like 10 years ago. And then when they play it, right, it's like nostalgic like trip. But it's only like 5 months, dude. Really? Okay. Yeah, it's so weird. It's just a weird like.
It's like a time froze at that point, and then like when everyone looks back at it, it feels strange.
Like it's strange. It was a strange feeling.
Because I think it did feel like a bit stretched out also.
Yeah. It's like some like I don't know. It's like a warp. Like a time warp or some shit. Yeah. I don't even know why I brought it up. but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, COVID was weird. This year was weird. But yeah, same for you as you. Like, I think for me, it gave me a lot of time to kind of decompress and like have more time to myself, which is great. And it's a very privileged point of view. Like, I understand that, but I guess we are lucky in the fact that we're able to use this as a time to kind of do things for ourselves at this point. We're obviously worrying about our livelihoods and everything, but not so much as other people who have it worse than us anyway. Yeah. Recently I talked to Samutek, like Matthews.
Yeah.
And because we were talking about like finances and everything in terms of the album, right? And I was asking him how he's doing, and then he was like, oh, like Poland is in a shit state right now because apparently the government is like overthrowing them or something like that. They're doing something's going on with like the politics over there, and they're I think something to do with like the bill on like LGBT stuff, and it's just a really bad time for them. Like they're going through some really bad political turmoil right now. The COVID situation there is not getting any better. So he's just telling me that like it's just not a really good time in Poland right now, and I hope everything will be better for him and everyone else around the world. Like the election results in America is tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. I think the next time that we do the episode, we can talk about it again. But yeah, how about the plans for Evening Chants? Like, what do we have coming up?
I think this year we have 2 more releases.
We have one.
We have one.
One confirmed release.
Okay, we have one release that is confirmed. The other not so much. Like
it's happening. Like we already have the files. It's just that it's not going to be released this year, lah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be released like in December. Like that's the one that we're talking everything. But then, because we're doing it on vinyl, then we wanted to spend a bit more time doing everything. Yeah, and then we have another one also coming up from a Singaporean musician.
Yes.
And everything we are super excited about.
Yeah.
So that's coming out next year, I guess.
Can say a name or cannot?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, I'm sure we'll talk about it when it comes nearer next year or something. But we're super excited about it, lah.
Yeah. For the new release that we have in mind, the packaging is also very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So the confirmed release that we're having this year, Jasmine had like I think we can talk about it.
I think we can.
Yeah. How about you? You want to talk about it?
Okay. So first time for me, it's Softman. We released him. It was our second debut. We are doing something with him again. This time, it's very minimal. Even though the previous one is actually quite minimal.
Super
already,
minimal. Yeah. I think it's our danciest record. It's our most danciest electronic record ever.
Yeah. But it's not super danceable.
Actually, I would love to dance to it. Okay. Yeah, like, honestly. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. So for that one, I think we're quite excited. We're doing tapes, and the packaging will be different. Like we have something in mind where we can print on transparent paper.
We'll make it happen,
and the design, we're very, 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 very excited about it. So is the artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. but yeah, I think Jasmine's idea was like incredible, and I think if we are able to pull it off, then it'll be great. Like I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
I don't think we can reveal much information now, but when it happens, lah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's gonna be nice. Yeah, and I hope people like it. Because it's not what we would usually put out.
And we're very excited about
it.
It's very good.
I think it's really good as well. If you're into like S&D, if you're into Mark Fell and all that shit, then I think this might be up your alley. Okay.
So let's just go to our next song. But what do you have in mind for this?
So I think I have the next 2 songs, but I'm just going to talk about the song that we're directly going to play after this, which is Drew McDowell's Agalma number 2, featuring Caterini Barbieri. And so Drew McDowell is from Psychic TV and Coil. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about Drew McDowell until we went, Dan and I went to Dark Mofo and stuff to see him perform Time Machines from Coil, not in full but presents Drew McDowell presents Time Machines. I can't say much about that evening, but it was great. It was great. Yeah, so he just released a new album on Friday. He's quite old lah. And then like he just like obviously got concerts in Saki TV and Call and everything. And like he just released an album on Friday called Egalma 2 as well on Daesh Records, which I'm not familiar with the record label actually. Never heard of them, but I should check it out. And this album is actually featuring a lot of ambient superstars like Katerini Barbieri, Kelly Malone, Robert Icke, Audrey Lowe, and yeah, it's great. It's hard for me to describe it. It's just drone.
Yeah.
What he does best lah, and like, with the features that he picked are like make so much sense. Like when you hear them, and then you're like, wow. Like so for me, my relationship with Katerini Barbieri, I think I mentioned to you this before. Like we were talking about her once. I think like last year or something, and then you like her, right?
Yes.
You right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then I was like, I'm not really a big fan.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of her.
Yeah, until I heard this, and then the way she freaking like put her synths, like inserted her synths, like that sounds like angel. Her synths sound like angels, like singing, like pastoral care, man. We need to make it happen. But anyway, yeah, it sounds like a synth and like a choir of angels like singing, and it's super emotional and then like Drew McDowell's like drone is like it's great. It's a really good like juxtaposition. It's just beautiful music. But yes, after this, I think I'm gonna go back and return to Katerini Barbieri's work, and maybe I'll you'll start. Maybe I'll get into her.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we have a few other tracks that maybe we can talk about later.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy. So maybe okay. So we will talk about the track before this first, and then I picked the track before this, the weird ass track. It sounds like beep boop beep boop beep boop. It's by this guy called Frank Brett Schneider. I think he just released his album on Friday, which was 1st November. Is it? No, before that, like 29 November or something lah.
Yeah.
And he released his album on Jan Jelinek's label. So Jan Jelinek, he's famous for blowing up his album, blowing up on YouTube. What's the album called? Wait, I have it here. Loop Finding Jazz Records. Yeah, it's just like a peach minimal like album art, like peach album art. It's really good. You go and check it out. But anyway, so his label is called Feitische. I'm definitely butchering it because it looks really nice as a word. So I think I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Feitische, whatever lah. But like, go and check it out. The label. So more about this Frank Brett Schneider guy. He's from Berlin, and the song that you just heard was from the album, which was actually songs that he was commissioned by CTM Berlin, CTM Festival, last year in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so now they're releasing it, and basically what Frank Brett Schneider does is he does a lot of generative music, and whatever they just said is all generative stuff. Like he edits it here and there, and he plays with so this is his bio that I'm just going to read. That he makes electronic work based on complex rhythmic structures and interlocking textures, whose many layered sound is inspired by the experimental setups of modern physics. So I think if I'm right, I read the album, like liner notes and everything is about he uses like some UV thing or VU or UV something like some physics shit to make the sounds and everything, but it was all generated like
UV, like light. Like
I think I'm not getting it right. Maybe it's VU.
Okay.
I don't think it's UV light. I think it's VU. But yeah. Anyway, in the copy of the album on Bandcamp, they quoted this guy called Pierre Henry from a 1982 quote that says, "One sound can give birth to thousands of tones through self-fertilization." And I think it's a nice way to describe like generative music and everything. Like a lot of it is based on like that one sound, and like a lot of things can go from there, right? Yeah. So I think it kind of mimics or represents a lot of like these kinds of music where it's like kind of like Otecker and everything, who just released 2 albums. But more importantly, it kind of describes Softman's debut album with us, 500 MS. Yeah. What he did was like, you want to explain? Do you remember?
If I'm not wrong, it's self-generative where he get like 500 different types of samples, right?
No.
No.
He had a few samples. No, I think it's less than that. You know the card that you design. So I think
it's 13.
I can't remember how. Maybe it's 13 or like, but 500 ms is 500 milliseconds. So the sample is like 500 milliseconds.
Wow, I don't remember that. Yeah.
So what Jasmine did? Okay, at least Softman, right? So like the samples are like 500 milliseconds, and then he uses like max MSP to kind of like generate music out of it. So the album is made of like things that he picked that could really fall into an album, and obviously he edited here and there lah.
Yeah.
And what Jasmine did was so great because like it was like, okay, she kind of represented what Softman did, where she put just the album art is like ticket stub, like a ticket stub. And
it's
you know
a
how
timestamp.
like
it's a time.
You want to explain? You remember?
It's a very long time ago. I think like it's
about more than a year.
More than a year. Yeah. I remember he used samples, and then we basically with these samples he timestamped it into like a looping system, and then it echoes through the whole album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically when you add in a sound, and then we timestamp it to add the texture and the
so he just like effects, like his max MSP. I don't know how it works but like there's like LFO and all this kind of like effect shit. So I think Jasmine did a really good job in kind of like doing the artwork for it, like, because it's very representative of the album process and everything. So good job. Although you forgot your process, but it's okay. I know you're a very busy person and working on many things. But yeah, sorry, I just
digress.
Yeah, digress too far. But going back to Frank Brett Schneider, I love it so much because like I think I love like electroacoustic. He has a lot of electroacoustic sounds, and like his sound design. Although I don't really know whether he designed the sounds per se because it's generative. And then we can go into a whole nother argument about like generative music. Like, is it really like music? But I think it is, and from what you've heard,
Yes,
heard,
because you have to compose generative music.
I guess you do. Yeah, you have to feed something into it. Right?
Yeah, you have to feed, and in order to feed, and what sounds right to you, that means you're composing it.
Yeah, I think that it's fair. Yeah, I think that argument is totally fair, and yeah, I do think it's music as well. Like, generative music is totally music, but Ortega doesn't feel that way. Like, I think recently they did a New York Times interview, and they're like, no, it would not. Generative music is not music until humans. Like, music can never be generative. I think that's what they're saying, rather than the other way around. Yeah. Like, music it has to have some human intervention in it.
Okay.
In a sense, like editing or adding something to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, like, you hear those algorithms where, like, they have the Christmas... Is it the Christmas AI bot that she generated her own song and her own lyrics, and then it sounded complete. Very weird, but it's a complete music.
Who's her? I have no idea.
It's just an AI
like an
bot.
AI shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I'll
Send it to me.
To you, and I'll send. Maybe we'll play it the next.
Oh
night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess yeah. I mean, it's up for debate and everything, but this album is great. Like, the sound design and just the acoustics of it is such a good listen. So go and check it out. But yeah, yes. Sorry. Let's just go. You can talk about the track that you just played.
Okay. The next song I played was King Crusoe and John Hopkins. I actually just found it recently. It was made in 2011 or 2012. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, John Crusoe is not an ambient artist, but he's already released about like 40 over albums.
40.
Yeah, he's from Scotland. It's more of like an indie contem kind of folk sound.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, surprisingly, this song I didn't know also, like, it was nominated for the Mercury Prize.
Right.
Yeah, and Scottish Album of the Year award. It's
nice.
nominated lah.
It's full. The album is like that. Like, the whole album is like ambient.
Yeah, but I feel it's more from like John Hopkins' place. Yeah, because it's very, very different from the King Crusoe.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I found it in. Thanks, Kenyon, for the introduction.
Of course, right. John Hopkins, right.
Yeah, to the meditative playlist lah. As in, yeah. Do you meditate?
I try though. Like, I really try.
Yeah.
Like, what's that app? There's an app that, like, the meditation app. The super
Balance.
aesthetic one. Sorry?
Balance?
Not Balance, shit. It's like an orange logo. It's just a circle. I can't remember. I tried, but I did try. I tried for a few days and I was like, no. I can't. I don't have the patience for it.
For meditation.
Yeah, I really wish I do. But I try and practice other methods, like other things to cope with, like, anxiety and everything that I have been taught.
Yeah.
But not really meditation.
Like at night, is it? Like, what kind
I
of
used to
things?
do it regular, like tapping. So, like, what happens is, like, I just tap, and then it brings me to, like, so, like, it was like you have to train yourself, right? You train your like, to connect the movement with your head.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever you tap, right, you bring yourself to like a safe space in your head. So you keep, like, repeating. So it's kind of like a meditative practice.
Yeah.
So to the point where your body gets used to associate this feeling of tapping to a safe space. So whenever you feel anxious or anything, at least for me, then I will do this, and then I will, like,
Okay.
and then my breathing will start to, like, circulate.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
because when I was
like
taught
regulate
this,
properly.
yeah. So when I was taught this practice, like, this person was telling me about the importance of breathing also when you do this tapping, and also thinking about the safe space. So whenever I do this, like, my breathing regulates, and I come my mind goes to this, like, my comfort zone, in a sense, and it really works. It's like a lifesaver for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact term for it. There's a name for it, but you can just search, like, tapping anxiety or something. Yeah. Try it out. Like, I really think I try and tell a lot of my friends about this practice, and if you have anxiety or any form of, like, I don't know, like, just try it out for yourself. And I feel like, yeah, I'm a big advocate for it. Yeah. What about you? Do you?
I do breathing exercises, but in the morning. At night, I do try also lah.
Every morning you do breathing.
Every morning I do.
Walk us through it.
I do because my mornings are busy, so I try to do, like, a very short timing one. It's like 2 minutes. It's just focus on breathing. If you have more time, then maybe you can do, like, the Wim Hof method. I don't know whether you've heard of it. Yes. Okay.
The ice guy, right?
Yeah, the ice guy. I've tried that also. Like, it's basically like oxygen deprivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Meditation itself, I think it's like an experience for different people also at the same time. Like I've heard people transcend.
Yeah.
I haven't had that experience. I want to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't really have the patience and I don't really want to force it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe one day I can try and then eventually reach that stage. Because I have heard it's very, very like, it's crazy.
I'm sure.
From what I've heard, I'm very like kind of like envious about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but yeah, for now it's just breathing, like foundational kind of stuff, but never towards a sutra or some sort of thing.
So do you do it like the first thing you wake up, or like is there a routine, like a specific timing that you do it? Or
Once I wake up, I do three things. I shower, I do stretches for 15 minutes, and I breathe.
Damn!
Yeah.
Holy shit! Wow! And it helps. Like when you started doing it, and like since now, like that whole period, do you feel like you've changed, like in terms of your whole well-being?
So now recently, I feel like I don't have time to breathe. So now I've changed it to at night.
Okay.
Yeah, which helps.
To end your day with.
Yeah, to end my day with. So before I fall asleep, I try to do it, and then it's quite nice. There's like I don't know, but like the app I'm using, the person's voice very, very nice.
What's the app called?
I think it's called Balance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like his name is like Faso or something. It's so like calming. I'm just like wow. Very nice, yeah.
Well, good job, man. Though, like I think like I'm always very envious of people like obviously who like transcend or whatever, right? But like also just to even get that habit of breathing and like meditation, like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently went to watch like some David Lynch his
the art science thing, is it?
No, it's he was just talking about like transcending meditation, like kind of.
Oh, he has his own method, right?
Yeah.
He has like a foundation.
He was just explaining it. But then, like, I think it's a bit difficult to find I mean, if there are resources online, but it's also a bit difficult to understand and have that habit. You're not, because it's such a, like a solitary thing. You don't know whether you're doing it correctly or not until you kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's where the patience come in. You know, you kind of like understand your body enough to go through the motions and realize, like...
But you still haven't reached that.
No.
Yeah, but now, so why do you keep continuing this breathing thing that you do at night?
It's just I'm trying to make a habit. I think it's important.
But do you feel like now that it's that you do it because in your head, yes, it's a habit, but also like you feel good like after it?
Yeah.
So you do still feel that feel that.
I think that is very important for you to like it.
Okay.
If you do not enjoy it, then when you force it, there's no point. I feel
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think let's end the day.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about sleeping.
Yeah.
Our last 3 songs.
Yeah. So do you wanna share about your song?
My song, I picked it just because I thought it would be good to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ian Hogwood and M. Ostermeyer, I think. Yeah, I found him recently. His album is from very old. It's like 2011, I think. But it's pretty good ambient piano music.
I think, do you listen to music when you fall asleep? Like, to fall asleep?
Yes. Yes, I do. I listen to white noise.
Oh, yes. I feel like we had this...
Yes, we had
Did we have this conversation on here?
The same podcast.
Oh, no. Okay, but yes, because this podcast is meant to help you fall asleep at the end of the day, but so our conversations will naturally come here. But yes, okay, so apart from Ian Hogwood, at least for me, the next song that will come on is by this person called Valentina Goncharova. And the song is called Zen Garden. I think the album just came out as well. I found it on Boomcat. And I think the album is called Recordings from 1987 to 1991, and it's very synth heavy, but I would say that it's closer to it's kind of like Plantasia vibes, I guess, but a bit like gothic, a bit more gothic and a bit more Russian, I guess. But it's really good. That it's clear, pristine synth music that's like mystical and whatever that you would want in a synth album. And it's amazing that it wasn't from 1987 and everything. So I'm glad this label called Muscat Shukai. Yeah, kind of like uncovered this thing and like brought it and pressed it on vinyl and kind of repressed and like really re-released it and mastered it and everything. So thanks for doing this work. It just makes me think about how much more music there is that is not discovered, that has not been discovered
it's like
yet.
Unreleased and haven't been me.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's so crazy. There's too much music. I cannot keep up. But anyway.
Yeah, do you want to talk? So we have like one, and then with that we will end with like one more song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see it? NGTH.
Yes. It's M. Ostermeyer. Yeah. I just talked about it, Nigel.
Oh, I thought you talked about Ian Hogwood.
Both. I've talked about
Oh no.
the same.
Sorry guys. But yes, we have 3 songs. We have 3 songs for y'all, and thanks for joining us for episode 3. I think that the next episode we'll probably talk about our year-end kind of lists and everything, because it's December and end of the year, which is insane. So prepare. Prepare your year. Yeah. Actually, it's the best part of the year for me. I love like kind of like consolidating my favorite albums, as if anyone cares, like, honestly. But like, it's the best thing. Like, the best thing. Do you do it actually?
Pitch podcast. I don't care.
You don't wanna.
I listen to everything.
But do you not want to like look back in the year and just be like, whoa, like what was it? What were the albums? Because like some January feels so far away, and then when you look back, you're like, oh yes, I love this album, and then you kind of revisit it, which feels like another year, but it's like in January. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then at the same time, I feel like there's so much music in the past that I always bring back for it. So I just look back in everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I could see it that way, like honestly, but I don't.
I do see the appreciation and like how relative it is to like the year itself, and how like music has, you know, moved through here and there.
Yeah.
And what kind of sounds are shown within like the album or whatsoever, like in the artist.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I think at the end of it, you know, it's nice. Then it's nice, you know.
Like time is relative for you, like in a sense. That's fair. I see it differently in kind of like a progression. Yeah, like what you said, like progression in music and seeing how like contemporary music has evolved and everything. But yeah, I personally like it. That's why I love all the stupid like Spotify year-end stuff. I love it because it's just a nice way to look back. Like, and like, oh yeah, this is, it's like the whole TikTok thing, like it's bringing you back. Yeah. It's nostalgic, and even though it's like only been a year, but like it's nostalgic for that point of time in the year anyway. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Maybe I just listened to like 5 songs the whole year. That's why.
Fair. That's fair. Totally fair.
No lah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I guess we will stop talking back. Listen to music. So maybe you should try and look up the meditative techniques that we shared, and like what's the app called? Balance, right?
Balance. If I'm not wrong, it might still be free. It's actually paid, but they are giving out for like World Mental Health Day.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go and check out Balance. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Bye.